Hey everybody, this is Dr. Andrew Kim, and today, for all of you sleep-deprived viewers out there, we're going to be discussing how your poor sleep is contributing to your weight gain. That's right, more and more, research is showing us that sleep deprivation can lead to biological and chemical changes in our body that puts you at higher risk for weight gain or weight retention. So first of all, what's even considered a healthy amount of sleep? The National Sleep Foundation recommends that adults get anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So that basically means I'm screwed. But in all seriousness, chronic sleep deprivation can put you at risk for numerous health consequences, ranging from things like impaired judgment, increased blood pressure, an increased risk of cardiac disease, an increased risk of car accidents, and even things like decreased sex drive. So today, we're going to dive into how chronic sleep deprivation can cause both biological and behavioral changes that can cause direct or indirect risk of potential weight gain. So if you're sleep deprived right now, click subscribe and go to sleep. If you're not going to listen, I hope you find this educational and go to sleep right after this video is done. Let's go. So first of all, let's talk about how a lack of sleep can affect your hunger hormones. Hunger hormones? That's right, we got hunger hormones. One of those hormones is called ghrelin. What? Ghrelin. Ghrelin is a signal that tells your brain and your body, I'm pretty hungry, let's get ready to eat. It does things like increase your appetite, gets your stomach juices flowing, gets your gut moving, and says, I am prepared to eat something. Your other hunger hormone is called leptin, and leptin basically does the opposite of ghrelin. It tells your brain and your body, I'm feeling pretty full, I don't need any more, I'm good, bro. Now, interestingly, when you have chronic sleep deprivation, your levels of ghrelin go up and your levels of leptin go down. So your hunger signal is going up and the signal that tells you you're full is going down. Now, the other problem is, even though we don't know the exact reason, research repeatedly has demonstrated we also tend to crave certain types of foods when we're sleep deprived. Unfortunately, those things are high sugar, high carbohydrate foods. So imagine this combination. I'm not sleeping well, so my ghrelin signals go up, my leptin signals go down, I want to eat high sugar, high fat foods, and because I'm not sleeping, I have more time to snack and eat. This all equals weight gain. Now, the next biological change I want to talk about is how the lack of sleep can lead to insulin resistance. So first of all, what is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that's released after our meals that helps break down sugars and carbs. Now, the ability for insulin to do its job is affected by something called cortisol. Cortisol is popularly known as the stress hormone. So when we get a lack of sleep or poor quality sleep, our body's levels of cortisol go up. Now, when cortisol levels go up, it's harder for insulin to do its job, which translates to higher blood sugars. Now, when there's higher blood sugars, our body tries to make up for it by pumping out even more insulin. But high levels of insulin promotes fat retention and weight gain. Now, when your body is chronically exposed to these higher levels of blood sugar and this decreased sensitivity to insulin, this is basically a recipe and formula to develop diabetes type 2. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Dr. Kim, insulin schminsulin. I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm invincible. Well, let me tell you this. There have been a number of studies that have shown in young, healthy volunteers, even without diabetes, a single night of sleep deprivation started to show evidence of insulin resistance. So think about if one night of sleep deprivation can do that, what will chronic sleep deprivation do to your body over time? Now, the next biological change I want to talk about is related to testosterone. Studies have shown that inadequate sleep has been linked to lower levels of testosterone. the important male hormone that's related to promoting building lean muscle mass and building muscle strength. Now, decreased levels of testosterone have been linked to things like decreased muscle stamina when working out and an increased percentage of body fat, and in particular, body fat in the midsection area. Now, another interesting fact is that fat cells themselves have an enzyme that convert testosterone into estrogens. So let's imagine this scenario playing out. You start off with a lack of sleep. This can lower your testosterone levels. This can lead to crappier and less efficient workouts. This can lead to a loss of lean muscle mass, increased body fat, and then that body fat itself can contribute to lowering your testosterone even further. Now, let's jump into some of those indirect ways that lack of sleep can also contribute to weight gain. So first off, let's start with the obvious one. If you're not sleeping well and you're not sleeping enough, you're less likely to be active and you're more likely to give up during your workouts. That's going to lead to less calories burned, a lower basal metabolic rate, less lean muscle mass, and this all equates to weight gain. Sleep deprivation also leads to decreased concentration, impaired judgment, and decreased motivation. So what does that translate to? That basically is going to translate to a higher likelihood you're not going to follow meal prepping and meal planning, and you're going to make unhealthy food choices. Let's face it, eating healthy takes effort. Now, it's 2 a.m., and I'm hungry, and I'm grumpy, I'm impatient. Do you think I'm really going to cook up a healthy lean chicken meal at 2 a.m. in the morning? Please, I'm going to be reaching for this.
Oh, cookies? Oh, I love these Thin Mints. Chicken? Oh, is it funny, man?
Sleep deprivation can also lead to self-medication with sugar-filled, calorie-loaded beverages. Now trust me, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. I'm probably one of the top consumers in the Chicagoland area of Monster Energies, Red Bulls, Rockstars, Mountain Dews, Coca-Colas in an effort to caffeinate myself. But all of these are filled with a ton of sugar, and that sugar equals calories, and those calories will equal weight. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, rather than trying to caffeinate yourself, some people are going to be self-medicating with alcohol in an effort to help them fall asleep when they're sleep deprived. Self-medicating with alcohol is a slippery slope. This can obviously put you at risk for developing alcohol use disorders, as well as putting you at risk for other physical or psychiatric issues. But today, I'm literally talking about drinking empty calories, whether that's drinking empty calories for the sake of caffeinating yourself or drinking empty calories in an effort to put yourself to sleep. Neither of these are healthy, and neither of these are solutions, but both of them can lead to weight gain. Although clinical depression itself can lead to inadequate sleep can be a risk factor for developing clinical depression. And if you develop clinical depression, you're also going to have symptoms like an increased appetite, decreased motivation. You're likely to pull away from activities like exercising, socializing, and all of these things can further cause weight gain. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the signs and symptoms of clinical depression, please check out my in-depth video right above. If you haven't fallen asleep by now, I hope that you found this video educational, and I hope you learned something new about the biological changes that can happen when you're sleep deprived, and how those changes can directly or indirectly lead to weight gain. So if you've liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for an upcoming video on sleep hygiene tips. Try to get some rest, get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. This is Dr. Andrew Kim signing off. Until next time.